And we're live. Welcome back to the Heal with Gold show. I am so excited to be here today. For all of those who celebrate Hanukkah, happy Hanukkah. And today I am bringing somebody to speak that has so much in common with me as far as starting in the fashion world, but then doing both fashion and personal growth. And it's interesting because there is so much to learn from fashion when it comes to your own personal growth and how you feel and how you interact with people and how you show up in this world. So hi Marina, welcome guys. As you come in, please say hello. If you approve StreamYard, I'll be able to see your name. If not, I'll just see a Facebook user, but that's okay. You can always ask questions. Patrice is very excited to answer any questions you may have. I think you're going to have a lot of fun today. Hi Louise, welcome to the show. And without further ado, here is my new friend Patrice. Hello, how are you?
Bonjour.
Bonjour, you're looking awesome. So refreshed for somebody who has been traveling today.
It's always ready. I'm always ready.
I know you are. I can feel your energy and you give me energy with your energy.
That's it. We're here to inspire.
That's right. That's right. Patrice, you have to share with us your story, your background, how you started, till what you're doing today, and then inspire us with your amazing messages. I mean, we had one phone call and I was so inspired and so pumped up from that conversation. And I couldn't wait to bring you to the show that I said, I'm not putting off, even though our show is Wednesdays. I said, no, we're going to do it this week. We're going to move it to Thursday, but we're doing the show because I wanted to bring you. So first of all, welcome. Welcome back to Florida. You're my neighbor. I hope we're going to get to see each other in person very soon.
Absolutely.
And now I'm handing it over to you to inspire our amazing guests and people who are here.
All right, Miriam, thank you very much for having me. Of course, that was great. Yes, great chemistry, great people, and we're here to bring value. So the story started in Paris. My journey started in Paris. And I knew from the time I was a kid that I wanted to be an artist, but I also wanted to make a difference in the world. And I also knew I was going to be an entrepreneur, no boss on top of me. So very quickly it drove me to choose hair. Hair became my passion, became the craft of choice. And that's how by the age of 18, not only working on the runway with models and celebrities, I managed 3 hair salons in Paris for a very big high-end brand in Paris, because that was already my drive and my ambition was within my DNA. From it, I kept asking my boss, I want more, I want more. More got me to move to the US at the age of 18, where I wanted to achieve that dream. I always had the US in the back of my head, and it was always that dream I was going to pursue. Now, I'm in the US, I'm 18 years old, I'm managing a salon in Bar Harbor Shops, Florida, but a year later, not really enough. So I opened my own biz. So at 19 years old, I own a very large spa, salon, and everything in a 5-star resort in Turnberry, to be exact, at the time. And that's when the adventure really began. It became really not only the turning point of moving to the US, but knowing what is my vision? What do I want from my life? So from it, I met very quickly who became my publicist in Beverly Hills. We worked on a show in Miami, and she said, listen, you belong to the red carpet. You belong in Hollywood. Let's build your brand together. And that was the first time that I ever heard my brand. What is my brand? What does brand mean? Fast further, I started working with celebrities, 13 years in the making, with doing the Oscars and all the award shows. And I also realized that, yes, Hollywood was always a dream of mine. Being in a green room and looking at all those celebrities, it's like having a spread of People magazine, but now I'm living it. Yes, it was great. But I realized now that my vision, mission, and purpose was missing something. This is when I started thinking, with reality TV messing up the message, with the inspiration to the girls of the world, we're like, what the hell is this? Like, is that what they're telling those new girls coming from teenage to womanhood to be those people now. So I wrote my first book, Mind Your Hair. And Mind Your Hair essentially was the story of every woman of the world that wakes up one day and say, ooh, you know what? I feel horrible in my life. Oh, I'm going to fix my hair, fix my life, and the deal is done. Not quite. So that book was the 7 steps to go through a hair makeover. But in the process of that, I got signed up by a keynote agent in New York to knowing that I had so much more to explain about self-development, self-esteem, appearance, the alignment of emotion and appearance. And I started realizing, well, that's branding right there. So now my second book is launching, Mind Your Impact, Style Interventionist, because it's really time to say, beauty is not just, first of all, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Therefore, the message you're sending out, the moment you're walking into the room is the moment you're making an impact for the rest of your life. Whether it's a date, it's the business meeting of your life, you're in the boardroom, it doesn't matter. The moment you show up, that nanosecond is the only one people will remember. Therefore, I prepare my clients, from celebrities to global leaders around the world, to knowing, hey, the moment you are going to walk into that room, this is it, the deal is done. So let's make it impactfully, and let's be mindful of what is your message, what's inside of you. And that's where I am 20 years later.
This is amazing. But you know, Patrice, I think it goes even beyond that. For the women who are not in business, right? I deal with a lot of women, right? I deal with the mom, and I deal with the entrepreneur, and I deal with the professional woman. But I see that when they feel that their outside matches their inside, right? Their aspirations, because all women want to feel beautiful. But when they look in the mirror and they see, oh, I am beautiful, the attitude that they share with the world, the way they show up in the world is full, is complete, is, fierce. It is commanding in a good way, not in a bad way. And they are their best version of themselves. And it's very interesting, Patrice, because I'm in fashion. I'm a fashion designer. It's the name fashion designer for me, it's funny. I don't see myself as a fashion designer. And that's what's so incredible, because I am not a fashionista in reality. To me, clothing, it is more about the message. I like to get dressed for the message that I'm going to share when I feel good. Not so much for the piece itself. It's not the action of going shopping. That it's my personal choice, right? There's people that do retail therapy and they feel really good. I hate trying on clothing when I'm going out, but I like when I feel put together and I present myself in the world and I can walk into a room feeling confident. And then I can share my messages more confidently. I can share my ideas. If I'm trying to work on a new concept, I feel better about myself when I look in the mirror and I feel happy. I want to ask you about your experience with women always feeling not good about their looks. I mean, there is this thing that we look in the mirror and we're always judging ourselves. I have a good friend of mine. I think she's pretty. I think that she's put together. And she, every time she sees a picture of herself, she says, don't post, this looks horrible. But when I see, I think she looks beautiful. And not just like a friend saying you look beautiful. I really think she looks beautiful. And I said to her, how interesting it is that the way I see you and the way you see yourself is so completely different. So first of all, do celebrities feel this way too? Or it's just us?
It's a great question. Yes, they do. Models, you know how hard on themselves they are when they walk into, they'll find flaws I don't even see anymore, but it's not about that, because you see, as they say, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Beauty is the emotional connection you're giving it, because what you call gorgeous to a girl, maybe I'll look at it differently. And between two girlfriends, or maybe two girls are looking at a guy and say, oh my God, look at him, he's hot. And the girl will be like, really? You think so? Because the emotional attachment you have to beauty is different upon the way you grew up, who was your mentor, what part of the world you were in, what was it, the belief of the house, maybe the religion, the history. That all that is going to model you from the child to the adult you are today. So yes, model do feel that way. Yes, actresses, and I'm talking A-listers, they will have something to say about themselves. Now you wanted an example of the most beautiful example. My salon was attached actually at the time for a while, for a long time actually, for a few years, with this very high-end weight loss program, extremely expensive. But the ladies that were coming there were basically the wives of the husbands that were very successful. So not only they were, like you said, they were mothers, they were moms, they were not, going after the career, or they were not going after, the boardroom. And yet they felt like, I need to go with my husband. I need to lose weight because by society standard, they didn't look the part. Now those women, they came, of course, completely in their shell, feeling like, I look so ugly. And look at this salon and look at him. And now I'm hearing that he talks, he works with celebrities and on Hollywood. So they would say right away, oh my God, I'm not a celebrity. I'm just a fat woman who needs a little bit of help with her hair. Now, where the trick was the most beautiful thing to witness was I was often doing a hair makeover. I hate that word because makeover, no, I'm just changing the direction of the beauty. You don't make over anything. It doesn't mean like, because it has a magic trick component that's not existing. Beauty is a step-by-step process. Back to my example, I would change them from whatever it is, the color, the shape, and everything. And at the end, and you see, that was to me where I started realizing that that's the empowerment I was giving women of the world. Was I was literally waiting for that second when literally was the last, brush stroke or the last kind of a hairspray thing. And the light in their eyes, that glimpse, that moment of magic. And they would say, and it didn't matter how big they were or how whatever it was that they were criticizing about themselves. Suddenly they say, I look like a movie star. I had so many people crying in my arms. I would cry with them, by the way. Because it was like this moment of like, oh my God, I'm actually worthy of something. Oh my God, I look beautiful. I feel beautiful. Now I'm empowered. I'm ready to step up to my husband. I'm ready to go to the dining room with all the other women and feel like, yeah, look at me. I'm it, And that to me, more than the money, more than any of that, it was the reward I was giving myself, because those women gave me the reward. When I saw them in that moment of magic in the eyes, that was the best.
Yes, Marina is saying that a good personality brings the inner beauty out, and
Sure.
I could not agree more. And I think that a lot has to do with us being who we are for real, our real selves, right? Being genuine. When we are who we are meant to be, then our personality, our true personality, who we're supposed to be, shows, and that brings such beauty, to who we are. So 100%, Marie, and I agree with you so much. Why do we look in the mirror and talk to ourselves in a way that we would never talk to our friends? How is it that we dare talk to ourselves? And if a friend of ours came and said, "Ugh, I look fat," what would we tell them? Absolutely not. You look beautiful, right? Even if they are fat. But we wouldn't say, "Oh, yes, you're fat." We would say, "No, look at you. You're beautiful. You're kind. You're loving. You're unique. You're the only you." Why do we tell ourselves? And how can we stop? How is there something that we can do to stop this talk, this negative talk?
Well, you see, the problem with society is that on one hand, everyone encourages you, be who you are, go for it, embrace it. Then you feel one day, yes, I'm going to do it. I'm going to dress the way I feel. I'm going to do maybe the hair I wanted to do, maybe with that blue piece, maybe whatever the case may be. And then you step out of your house. And suddenly you realize you're getting criticized, somebody makes a stupid comment, and now you're back in your shell, just like an oyster, because you feel like, oh my God, I was trying and I didn't succeed. You see, that's the problem of society. All that viral thing and all the digital world, has actually messed up the system much more. Because if you look at you when you were a little girl, do you think little girls look at themselves and say, oh, I look fat, I look ugly, I'm too short, my nose is like a potato? No. Girls play princesses. They're gorgeous. They're going to marry the prince. They're going to be, they're going to be who they want to be. They have the dream of the job they want to be. Or maybe they want to be a mom with 10 kids. And little by little, that chips up into what society makes you, because society is cruel and people are cruel. And whether it's jealousy or all the insecurities they're throwing on you, because by criticizing you, what people are really doing is giving what they would want to give themselves, and they can't, so they just rather throw it on someone. And that's where the disconnect is. So for the girls of the world to regain your power, first of all, love the mirror. Because you say that women talk very kindly to themselves when they're by themselves. My experience tells me differently. They look at the mirror, even on their own, and all they're going to see is pick apart, instead of saying, hey, yeah, okay, maybe I'm a little bit overweight from what I was. All right, so you know what? Time to go to the gym. Time to take care of myself. Time to get on a diet. But you do it for yourself. You don't want to do it just because, oh, size 2 is really what's in fashion right now. No, it's about be yourself. Beauty comes from within. It's not by someone who's going to tell you a million times you look great, or you read in a magazine what you should be doing. It doesn't work that way. You need to align who you are within. And then, as you were mentioning earlier, when you get ready in the morning, you are about the message. And that's where the beauty of it is, because now you're aligning exactly emotions and appearance. And now you create branding, because branding, it's not so complicated. Branding is the way you show up every day in your life.
Patrice, tell me something. When
Yes.
you are an artist, when the guy was painting women, he was painting overweight women. Why? Because that was the symbol of beauty then, because it was the reproduction, right? The women who could reproduce and have children, and signs that they had children, those were considered the beautiful women. First of all, I was born in the wrong time. Because I keep thinking and dreaming that maybe there are some Degas around here. Okay. But how can we allow for the media to define what beauty is? And the media defines a beautiful woman, a woman that looks sick. Like, if you are really going to assess that woman, right, without the fancy clothing and the ruffles that takes all of this space, right? If they put a bodysuit and they walk in front of you, that's not a healthy woman. That's not a woman that maybe can reproduce, right? This is a woman who looks like malnourished. How do we allow the media to do that? And how can we break this pattern that the fashion world, the magazines that are always depicting, and even TV, soap operas, they're always, if you look, the women are all more symmetric, right? The beauty in our, this side of the hemisphere is the symmetric looking woman. But what can we do, each person, to stop with this stereotypical of what is beauty?
All right, you mentioned something, and I'm going to go back to it a little bit. It's very important because we need to bring the foundation in. It's a cultural thing, because you see, for instance, weight still in some countries, such as the Muslim countries, actually being overweight means being well fed. That means it's a sign of wealth. It's a sign of opulence. It's a sign I rock it. You know what? I make the dough, because if I can eat that much, it's because I'm that rich. So we need to understand that upon one continent to the next, it's a very different message. So being in the US, and now I'm going to answer the question, in the US, yes, the medias are horrible when it comes to they're not guiding women, they're telling them what to do. And you see, that's the thing, because women get pushed around, they become wives, they become mothers. so much is going on in their lives that it's chipping some of their own personality. And the little bit that's left, instead of concentrating on the good in them, they feel like, oh, yeah, okay, they're showing me that on a runway. Oh, it looks like in Hollywood. They're doing it even, I'm looking at those girls that studied, Adele, and all those girls that were, plump or full. Little by little, it becomes this thing. They're actually the symbol of society. And here are those women that are talented, extremely successful, and yet they still feel like at some point of the time, there is something that doesn't work so well with society. And what it was, only the mirror that they looked upon society, not their own mirror, because those women are all uber successful. They're having it, they're rocking the world, and yet they can't do it. So women, stop it. Women have power from the beginning of time. I mean, if you look at Cleopatra, I mean, I'm talking way back. Women have always had the power. And it happened that little by little, this became this gender thing where now, it became where men now feel like they're superior to women. And there is also inequalities, with salaries and the same job, but they will have the exact same job with different pays. And that's where now you girls need to get together, because also there is another thing, girls among girls. Are you always so gentle to you, among each other? Maybe not so much. So start there. Instead of saying, look at her, what she's wearing. That's not so good either. Maybe be more gentle. Because maybe what you're saying, again, it's a little bit about yourself.
So true. I think that I think that all the fights and the issues that there is in the world stems from people not uniting because of certain differences when they have so much already in common. I mean, we're all humans, that we have already all in common. So we should unite instead of split because of different looks or ideologies. We should all really understand each other more. And if the women will support each other, there's going to be less pressure from the media. I think that that's a very, very good point. I actually follow a few women. I'm not a huge social media consumer. I put my post once a day, but I try to not consume too much. But the accounts that I like and I enjoy to see are the women who make fun of the way pictures are taken for Instagram. So there's one woman in particular that I follow. She's very thin, but the butt is sagging, the boobs are sagging, she's not airbrushed. She's human, she's normal. And she shows her body before, and then she makes the poses, and it looks completely different. So when women are portraying themselves, right, they're putting those pictures online. Now it's not even the media anymore. It's them creating a look that it's not even real. So when a woman is doing that, when she's, completely airbrushing herself and she's reducing her body size on the screen, she is part of the problem. Instead of saying, hey, women, we all look different. Many of us carry children. Our bodies will never look the same. It is what it is. All of that is beautiful. So there are some amazing accounts that do that, but I feel that women are doing a disservice to all women. As a fashion brand, I take pictures of models. We don't do photo retouching. There is no photo retouching. If you go to my website, if you go to this, I don't take pimples out. I don't do anything. And some people told me, oh, it's not professional. You should be retouching these pictures. And I say, but my brand wants to serve every woman. If I'm going to make them all look the same, this thing that the media does, that's not the person that I'm serving, because that person doesn't exist in reality. I want the everyday woman to look at herself and say, I also have this, I also have that. And look, it looks pretty on that person. So why not? It will look pretty on me too. And another thing that you spoke before about the things that we tell ourselves, right? I gained a lot of weight in the last few years. And I was talking bad to myself, right? Why can't you control yourself? I mean, bread is life. Let's give it to bread. because bread is my weakness. So bread is life. But just saying, but why can't I control myself? Why can't I be a little bit more disciplined? And I said, how about if I change the script? And instead of saying bad things about myself, why can't I find at least one good thing about the fact that I'm fat? And I said, you know what? I give the most amazing hugs because my hugs are cozy. It's like a motherly hug, you know? It's not all bones. Obviously, is not so healthy. Obviously, for my heart and for living longer, I should be careful. But not every person who's overweight is unhealthy, and not every person who's thin is healthy, right? So you have to take care of your health, but at the same time, you have to be kind to yourself. Today, I was in the seminar, and one of the speakers said, your words are prophecy. I wrote it down. I wrote it down like I made a mark. Our words are prophecy. We say things, and even if they're not right now the truth, they become the truth because our words have power, and we have to be really, really careful about what we say. Aloha, salud. So good to see you.
No, of course, the intention when you speak, that's why the role we have, that's why I wanted to make a difference. And that's where I explain some of my friends who feel like, oh, you think you're the guru, you can tell people what to do. I'm like, no, that doesn't really work like that at all. Actually, if anything, when I coach, I actually ask a million questions about you to understand who you are. I'm not telling anyone what to do. This is not my role. I'm here to guide, I'm here to help, but I'm also here to inspire. And of course, your words, the words you choose are crucial because it'll take 10 years to build someone up. It only takes one nasty thing to tell them to take their self-esteem completely down. Of course, words have power because they have the intention. And intention is the law of attraction. If you mean them kindly, kindness in return, everything will flow beautifully. Now, also, if you say something you don't mean, people could tell. That's why I love those live interactions because people can see I'm authentic. I'm who I am and I don't need to apologize for who I am. That's the power I gave myself from being extremely shy, introverted, and all. So that's why I'm here to help. And of course, words are they're more important. Like my father was actually very violent physically, but I remember more the words he said to me than what he did physically, because that was the most hurtful part. So to your point, of course, words are prophecy. Words are everything. They can inspire as they can destroy. And that's why leaders are great because they have those promises and they know how to make those promises to get people to trust them, because that's what we do. People trust us, and by trusting us, they follow us. So we have a responsibility.
Tell me something, Patrice. Do you have some beauty tips that we can do or implement, or our hair and our clothing, like things that are, like you would say, for example, somebody who's overweight, many times they look better wearing layers, right? When they put like a little jacket, it kinds of, I've seen like pictures that you put another layer on somebody and it kind of, you feel better about yourself. Do you have tips and tricks like that you can share with us?
There are many tips and tricks, but you see, my philosophy gets much, much deeper than that. Yes, I help people with their looks, and that's also the misconception where people hire me and think I'm going to help them with their looks. And I will at some point of time in the 9 steps. I mean, in 9 weeks, we're going to be together. Yes, I will. But it is not about that. The fundamental is you. Yeah, for instance, girls that have curves and roundness, they hide with more fabric and more fabric. No, no, no. Embrace who you are. Is this body going to change tomorrow morning? No, it's your body right here, right now. Make it a form-fitting shape. And yes, you're going to be like, oh, look at that girl. She has the same outfit, but she's, 5 sizes less than me. So what? Get out there and rock it. The way you feel when you put it on, if you don't feel empowered, I don't care how much you put on top of you, not coming again from a place of the mind, not on a place of the physical. The physical is the appearance, and the clothing is the last part of what you do. The process is knowing, yes, I want to wear a pencil skirt. Yeah, I'm a size 12. Okay, you could totally rock it. A white belt, which actually gives you better of a waist, because people think, oh, that's going to accentuate my weight. Yeah, your weight is here. So work with it. And that white belt is going to actually give you now a beautiful waist, the curves at the hip, and the top. So it's going to have that beautiful triangle shape, the waist, and then the curves. And that's what you want to do. But at the base of tips and tricks is embrace it. This body is here now. So make the best out of it.
So hold on a second. So Marina just wrote a very interesting comment. She says she doesn't agree because she thinks that there's a lot of large women that shouldn't wear stuff that they shouldn't. And it's actually funny because I've seen people wear stuff that my first reaction was, oh girl, you should not have worn this. But then at the same time, I feel happy for them that if they chose to wear that, that means that they really embraced how they look and they're feeling good about themselves. What do you think? What do you think? Today I saw people that were really, really heavy, and I mean, everything was hanging out and it wasn't a pretty sight. But that's my opinion. But it's my opinion. Maybe I'm completely wrong.
No. Yeah, you see, this is the problem of society again. It's about extreme. There is one end where embrace yourself is one thing. I don't care what body. When I see a lot of those music videos, I won't name them because now I'm stepping into a whole other light, which is not the light I want. Mm-hmm. Am I horrified with what women are wearing? Absolutely. I think this is like, okay, hold on, girls. You want to be loved, respected, and cherished by men, but you doing this, and you are, between the choreography and everything hanging out and barely anything to the imagination. I mean, actually nothing to the imagination. Pick your battle. And of course, I agree with Marina where it's like, it shouldn't be. Yes, I agree it shouldn't be. I have a friend, for instance, she's a great example, curvy body, but her actually, she loves to, it needs to be plunging hair, short hair. And I said to her, you know what? When somebody gives you a gift, do you want somebody to throw the box at you and say, hey, here's your gift? Or how is that where it's going to have the beautiful wrap? It's going to have the bow? Oh, she's like, of course, I want the beautiful gift. Well, there you go. How do you think that works in the eye of men and women? I mean, it's not a gender or, right. But I'm saying, yes, the more you cover, actually, the better it is in the sense of discovery, in the sense of sexiness. I don't know where it became where sexy means that you're wearing 2 triangles for, and then it's like, that's not sexy. That's nothing. I mean, that is thing, but on the other end, and I would agree with that where women have completely went overboard with this whole liberation, but at the same time, it's like, no, regain your power. This is not giving you more power by doing so. You're changing the vibe and you're changing. Actually, now you're taking what was good and take it to another extreme that nobody understands. And now everybody is all over the place saying, what is female empowerment after all? Is it this or is it that? So yes, less is more or more is less, however you want to see it. I like women. I like to cover them and not like cover them and, but enough where it's outlined and beautiful and that's exciting and it's sexy and it really shows what you're going to be like the part of the discovery rather than having all out and then what's the place for imagination.
I agree with you. Let's see what Salud is saying. I dress what makes me comfortable and happy. Many people comment about my flowers. She always wears a flower in her hair. In what I wear, it brings them joy. I think, Salud, that your flower is your signature, is your brand. We were talking about the branding. I mean, Salud, I think it would be weird to see without the flower. So I love it. I think that you're doing something so smart. It brings you joy and brings everybody who sees you joy. So I love that. I love when people do something that is unique to them, that they're not following, those those rules made by society, and it doesn't hurt anybody, brings you joy. Why not do it? I think that this is great. Yeah, so if people here are agreeing with what we're saying. um, what about age? What about age? When it comes to a point that I remember, I used to love wearing very bright colors. Like, I remember it was in fashion, neon colors. I had a a green neon jacket that I loved it so much. I wore it with a navy skirt, gave me so much pleasure. And I had neon pink. And one day my kids told me, "Ma, I think that neutrals, it's time for neutrals, Ma. Can you try some grays?" So I think that, and I was fighting my kids because I still like color. But is there a time where we need to tone down a little bit, or it's not about the color, or it's not about the cut, but it's the whole look together? What do you think?
Yeah, you see, yeah, your kids told you one thing because now they came at the perception of the age group, what they see on TV, what they listen to, what they have on YouTube or any digital platforms, and they're trying to convince you. They're doing what society does. It's like, ooh, you need to tame it. You need to take it down a notch. How many times do I hear? And it's not even about the appearance, it's about my mouth. Everybody says, ooh, you're a little too honest. Like maybe you want to take it down a little. I do? Well, not for me. Same thing with you. You love bright colors? Why shouldn't you wear bright colors? Where in the book, where are the rules of, oh, I get older? I used to hear that hair. Oh, I get older, I have to cut my hair short. I get older, I got to get blonder. Often it's really the contrary, because the blonder you get as older you get, because the pigmentation changes, it washes you out. And in fact, if anything, you need to wear more makeup to contrast with the blonde. So you actually need to bring back a little bit of pigments in your tone, warm tones, but they often, if it's too blonde, you're going to actually lose the look. So there are no rules. I have amazing clients that are 60 and 70 wearing longer hair, but they have a chic to wear it. They own it. They embrace it. Their hair is part of who they are, and they're wearing it and carrying it like an armor, like something they're so proud of. And that's what it is about. It's not about, it's that way, okay, we should make it that way. Again, society makes it very boxy. You need to belong into a box. Ooh, older means gray, navy blues, and blacks. Ooh, yeah, pants skirt because, a pantsuit because now, skirt suits. Now you can't show your knees anymore. You can, what? Again, it's all about balance. If you want to wear that jacket that's bright and you feel like it goes with what you're saying, the message you're sending out, wear that jacket. Your kids are going to say something? Well, that's mommy's personality, kids. I'll let you do and have yours, and mommy has hers. That's it.
Beautiful. Patrice, I want to ask you a personal question. Can I? You can always say no to answer. You mentioned that your father, that you heard bad, I don't know if you consider it abuse, but verbally.
Yeah, it was abuse, yeah.
Abuse, okay. Yeah. How do you have so much confidence? And tell us your journey to become this confident, bright, shining person that you are.
Yeah, it's so funny, and my mom was telling me that not too long ago, because she's like, I love, even though I don't understand, she speaks very little English because, she's French. But she said, I can't believe who you became. And I'm like, really? Why? And she's like, remember how you were? Yeah, okay, so, yeah. Not only my father, but I was bullied at school. Like, literally, I was beat up pretty much, not on the daily, but a good amount. I was all skinny, I was shy, I was hiding behind everything. And moving to the US, I was horribly shy until actually, when I started working in a hair salon and women started giving me some of their power, like, hey, my hair, and hair is the most emotional attachment you have. Like letting someone cut your hair is the same way as you letting your mom touch your hair, your husband touch your hair, your kids, because you only let someone you trust completely to do something with your hair. So that empowerment that women would give me started building up this, wow, they're letting me do it. telling me they're choosing me to do something so valuable, because I could understand from the youngest age that hair was everything in a woman. That was so powerful to them. And then from that, I moved to the US, and then people started valuing my opinion. Oh, well, you have a great sense of style. Oh, okay. So, and at first I actually thought people were making fun of me. And I remember the first time I got interviewed, it was on the red carpet in Hollywood. I thought I was going to have a heart attack. Like, because yeah, I was going little by little by little, but I was still in my own little controlled world. But one day my PR said, we're going to have that channel. They're going to interview you. Actually, it was about what's going to trend, tips and tricks, whatever. I froze. I freaked out in my head, like right before, because I'm like, what am I going to say? I don't know what's trending. And she's like, what do you mean you don't know what's trending? Of course you do. You travel the world. I mean, you know. And I was like, I'm gasping for air. No, 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 no. Please don't do that to me. And she said, oh, too late. They're coming actually in 2 minutes. And you see, I can remember. I was talking. I can't remember what I said. But I remember thinking, well, I did it. Wasn't so bad. I mean, it was bad at the beginning. I mean, inside of me. But on camera, I look good. I mean, it looks like, you know, and little by little, I realized, no, I have a place in this earth. I can make a difference. And the more I would help people with their appearance, the more they would trust me, the more I trusted myself. And the more I love myself, because I hated myself like for so long. And little by little, I'm like, oh, I'm actually of value. Oh, no, no, I'm bringing something to this world. And that space I occupy, I deserve it. I'm worthy of it. Oh my God, now it's growing because I'm helping, I'm touching lives, I'm helping others. Like right now, I'm coaching this 18-year-old kid in college. He's the son of a friend of mine, and he's been on for 10 months. And knowing that I change one life at a time, that empowers me. That's why I love to be in that camera. And now, funny enough, anywhere I am, if there's a camera and they say, "Ooh, you mind if you," you know, it happened not too long ago. I was in a setting where they needed content, and everybody was like, "Oh, no, 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 the camera." I'm like, "Oh, I'll do it." And they were like, "You sure? You sure?" By the moment I spoke, they were like, "Oh, okay, yeah, you can go. Okay, fine. You're totally, you know." And that's really how it happened. It didn't happen overnight. It did happen step by step by step. And some moments were like that turning point was very, very like, and then it became, okay, not so bad. And the more not so bad became, well, it's pretty good. Oh, and now I'm enjoying it. Oh my God, and now I'm loving it. And now my passion comes out of my DNA. And when I speak and with my hands and everything, it's like, yeah, I'm here and I'm here to make a difference in this world.
So you said two things that are so important, I think, in every aspect of life. And I hope that the people who are here and the people who are going to watch on replay, they're going to pay attention to this. One is that you have to go out of your comfort zone. In the beginning, you're going to do it without enjoying. You're going to do it while afraid. You're going to do it not believing that you deserve it. But you have to go out of your comfort zone and start, because change takes a lot of time. And you can't wait until you're ready to do it. You have to do it and get ready during the process. And the other thing that you said that's so important is that you didn't believe that you were worthy the space that you took. You weren't worthy the risk that people put, right, and gave it to you to do something so important as their hair, as their look. But once you started seeing that other people trusted you, you started being able to see that you can trust yourself. When other people told you you are worthy, not only that you're worthy, but I'm going to give you money because I trust you so much, that gives us the validation that we are worthy. And I think that those 2 points are so critical in every aspect of people's lives, right? First of all, do it before you think you can do it. Don't wait. You're going to become proficient. You're going to become more open. Whatever it is that you're going to do, you're going to become more of it while doing it. And the more you do it, more people will show you that you are worthy and that you have value and that they trust you and that they care about you. And that's everything.
It is everything. And you know, it's not, you're never ready. Like a kid. Everybody says, oh, let me prepare for a kid. It's like, oh, I got pregnant. And you make it work. You realize, oh my God, a kid. How am I going to do it? I don't know how to be a mom. Like, I've heard it so many times in my friends. Lately, the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years, my friends are all getting their first babies. And it's like, oh my God, how am I going to do it? And I'm like, you're going to do it. Yes, out of your comfort zone. You don't know. But if you know, how could you, you can anticipate. You cannot anticipate that. Same thing with self-development. There is a component of it that's the unknown. You got to step out of your comfort zone, whether you're walking and talking to a camera, or you maybe just in the boardroom. Now you need to get up and talk in front of all those men to present a project, or you're going to be maybe in a PTA, and now you need to inspire other moms at school. It doesn't matter. You're never prepared fully. So just go for it. Like with you, I didn't have any questions. It's like, okay, put the light on, get into the studio. I'm like, all right, let's rock this thing. And that's it. Because that's the only thing that counts in life. Be authentic. If you're authentic, people trust you. That's your brand. The moment they trust you, whether with an opinion, whether with a leadership, whatever the topic is, that's all it is. Step out of that comfort zone. That's so like, oh, I'm going to stay here. Where's the growth and where's the fun in that? There is only one gift that was given to you, is one life. So make the best of it.
That's right. Patrice, now from a foreigner to a foreigner, I don't know that you know, but I'm from Brazil. You're from France. I wrote a book, Heal with Gold, the name of the show. You wrote now 2 books. How? Because I remember when I started writing, I felt very insecure because of my language.
Of course.
You feel like you have a message. You want to share something with the world, but you say, am I going to make fun of myself when I'm writing? Because my kids, by the way, my youngest 3 daughters, they keep notes. Everything funny and silly that I say, they call it mommy-isms. I say that it's mumsies, but it's mommy-isms. And they share between themselves every funny, silly thing that I say. And sometimes they bring it up, and they start reading, and we laugh a lot, because I'm very funny with the stupid things I say. But I was worried that I was going to write that, all those things. In the house, they kind of forgive me. I think that right now, whoever watches my show, they also forgive me for all the stupid things that I say. But how did you feel, when it's come to write a book? You're like, okay, come on. They may not, they don't know me personally. They won't give me that break. How did you feel with the self-confidence for writing?
You see, though, it's funny because I always love languages. So I spoke English, Spanish, and fairly good Italian by the time I was 16. So I always had that in me. It was always ingrained in me. I love languages. And you see, the funny thing is, I actually started belonging to this mastermind to help me understanding how do I create what I do one-on-one into a digital form. They were telling me, you need to be the master of your own domain. You need to teach people. But I'm like, what I'm doing is one-on-one. Like I'm doing here. How do I do that in digital? This is something I do because that's a relationship. It's a one-on-one. It's an experience. It's the trust. It's the love. It's all of that together. And they say you need to write a book. And you see, for me, it was natural. I didn't even think of the language. Yes, I knew, of course, written form of English was very different from a verbal one. And I hired a very amazing editor, kind as could be, that helped me going through the process, Vicky. But I said, please, it's important. Actually, I said to her, keep my voice. I want people to, when they read it, it's like they're hearing me, like I'm talking to them. And she did that beautifully. So I didn't freak out on the whole language thing because I thought I'm going to work with someone that's going to help me with that. So I'm going to say the stories the way I feel. And now she's going to put them in better English. The syntax is going to be perfect, the punctuation. But at the end, I didn't care that a couple of things. In fact, some of my friends told me my first book, there's a couple of things you could tell that you said something, you went from French to English, but and she kept it, which is good. But we knew that was your pouring to have said something like that. And I'm like, yeah, but that's who I am. So, I embraced it.
Now, I think it's great. It was a dream of mine to write a book. I have a notebook that I write my 10 dreams and I write it in present tense. And one of the things was to come out with my book. And then by the end of the year, I had the book done. I think it's so important that when we have goals, that we stay very focused on these goals, right? That we keep reminding ourselves, because we forget. We forget that we have a goal. We say like, really, I would like to, within the next 3 years, to do so and so. And then you don't remember. You're not every day working towards that goal. But if every morning you wake up and you write your goals down, and I recommend writing them in present tense as if you had already accomplished them, you will remember every day that that's a goal. And then you're going to say, okay, what am I doing today to achieve that goal? If it is the way I look, if it's the way I communicate with my kids, like if that I feel present, right? There's the goals, they don't have to be only for an entrepreneur. It doesn't have to be only in the business world. It could be a personal goal. You know, I would like to put all my pictures in albums. That's a goal. Well, if you have 100 boxes of pictures, you better start every day working on them. But the point is, and when I'm giving this example, is just that I feel that it goes along with what you said before of feeling worthy. When we accomplish our goals, we start feeling more worthy. When we say, I want to do something, and you actually do them, it emphasizes again that you have reason for being, that your days are not just going by, you know, I have to do this, I have to do that, okay. They have purpose, they have meaning, they have a goal in mind. And then when you see, well, accomplished, you say to yourself, you know what? I'm worthy, I'm special, I did something. Not that we need to attach our worthiness to accomplishments, but at the end of the day, it's a great process for us to start interpreting our own worth. Let's see what the Marina is saying. I've been working on my pictures for the last 3 years, and I still haven't started. Right? This was an example, but I think that most of us have pictures that we want to put in albums. But the point is whatever it is that it's important to you. Take whatever is important. If your looks is important, then start with something small. I was traveling in Portugal. I was there because I manufacture my line there. And I stayed at an Airbnb that they put a lotion that I loved it. I love the lotion. And I never lotion myself. And every day that I was there, I did put the lotion. And I said it should be a goal of mine to every day lotion my skin. It's something small, but if I could do it every night before I go to sleep, I'm going to feel better about myself, right? This is about my physical, my appearance. And there's little things that we can do. Drink water. You know, if that's, you know, nourish yourself from inside. Your skin needs water. There's so much that we can do, that it's small little steps that are going to just make us feel better about ourselves in general, not just because we look one way or another.
Absolutely. Everything is a step-by-step process. That's also the problem of society, is wanting to have the solution, the miracle solution right here. I want to lose weight. I'm going to take that pill. I want to look younger. I'm going to go under the knife. I'm going to, whatever the case may be. And that's the problem that society has created. When my grandma understood, she's like, honey, you cannot get rich overnight. You put money aside, you invest it well, and you put a little more and a little more. She was a very wise woman. She was very, very dear to my heart, close to my heart, and so dear to my life. That's what you said. Of course, like that body lotion. Now what did it do? Not only it smells great, it feels great. You're keeping your skin supple. Now you're actually keeping it hydrated longer, meaning you're going to look younger longer. Now, what does that do too? Well, the hubby is going to like that too. You're benefiting in every way, and that's one baby step. But yet the goal and the intention is the more you do something for yourself, the more you embrace, and it gives you that little more power. And a little bit of power on top of a little bit of power gives you more power. And one day it's a big power. And not power with the ego and, I don't know, lead troops and, I don't know, saying, you know, we're going to kill people. No, I'm saying power on inspiring, again, guiding. You're a mom. That's within itself an incredible mission on earth, to be able to say, wow, I'm responsible for other beings than me. It's huge. So step by step is the way to go. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Patrice, this was fantastic. I want to know from you if there is any last words that you want to share with our community and anybody who's going to be here on replay.
But, I love female empowerment. So I'm always ready for you to, have me and talking some more and do some live events together, hopefully in the future. But girls of the world, you are enough. I know it's hard because maybe, like you said, you're talking to a lot of moms and it's all that energy, to be a wife and a mom and maybe with a career or not. But it pulls you from every direction until it's like, oh my God, who am I? What do I do? What should I do? What is really good? What should I wear? Make it simple. Look at yourself in the morning and in the mirror and make sure to say, hey, am I in tune with that person, or I keep picking apart? That is the first tip and trick you can ever apply to your well-being, to your self-development, to knowing where you are on that scale of well-being. That's a great way to saying 1 to 10, how do I feel? That is a great answer. So start with it small, just with yourself. You don't have to ask anybody's opinion, just yours.
I agree with that 100%. Patrice, I can't thank you enough. I'm going to post in the group, and so whoever is going to be watching on YouTube, I'm posting it on the Heal with Gold group. I'm going to post all of Patrice's information and how to get the book. Patrice, please send me that so I can share it with the community, because if they are interested in following up with you, it's going to be, amazing. Thank you all for whoever came here live and in person, and for all of you who are going to be watching this on replay. Please share the videos, because you don't know, you may share this on your page and a person is going to listen to this and maybe they're going to say, you know what, I am worthy. You know what, there's something a small little change that I can make today to feel better about myself, and that can catapult an incredible change in years ahead for this person. Share the content, and yeah, go ahead.
Post your questions. That's important. Just go for it. We're here to build a community with Miriam. We're here to help you and help you and help you and help you. So post your questions, because it's also the thing where I'm going to look stupid. Maybe that's going to be a ridiculous question. No question is ridiculous. Every question is another 1,000 people question. So post it below and we'll answer for you.
Absolutely. Post even after the show, and Patrice will answer your questions. In the meantime, have a wonderful week. Until next week, we have an amazing show next week for you. Please check it out. Molly, you're not going to want to miss it. She's an actress of TV and theater, and she's going to share about losing her daughter and how she was able to pick up her pieces back again with connection, building connections. And we're talking about it. We're talking about how we feel, how we connect with people. So next week, you may cry, but you're going to laugh because Molly's funny too. And I think you're going to have an amazing, inspiring time. Patrice, thank you for your time. This is the first of many.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good night, everybody. Until next time. Bye-bye.